About to talk about its speed. Alright, so let's talk about this patch, because there's definitely some interesting changes in here that at first they don't look like they're a lot, but they changed the way the map is played. Sorry, I was reading chat. So the citrus berry and top path, like, what I'll do is we'll go through, we'll look at everything, and then I'll go in depth. So we have another citrus berry and top path. The Natus are removed. Now there's Bundle Beast instead. So it's kind of like old top lane. Regieleki can't hit a player with 3 Electro Webs anymore if you're standing in the center of it. The ball toys are pushed back to 840 from 910. And the blue buff is from 20% CDR to 10%. So let's talk about what this means, right? So we have the citrus berry in top lane. So an extra citrus berry, I mean, I don't know why they removed it anyway. I really don't understand. It just made no sense to me. This shouldn't have been a change that they needed to make. Hi YouTube, hi Lush. I'm actually streaming on YouTube, Lush. But yeah, so this should have just been in the game since day one. I don't know. The Natus, this is an interesting change. So this means a lot for top lane. So this change essentially means that top lane is going to go back to the way it used to be. Things like Charizard were really good in top lane because of the Natus, and now they're not there. So you're not going to see Charizard top anymore. Charizard top is kind of dead, which is tragic. You're probably going to see a lot more 1-1-3 this patch in 5 stacks. Solo queue, you're still going to see, you know, everything that you always see at solo queue. When it comes to stacking items, you know, you're not going to be, people aren't going to be able to stack, like, super easily. It's going to be about the same pace as the old top lane when it comes to stacking. You're probably going to see a lot more Lucario come back because Charizard doesn't exist in top lane. Because, like, Charizard kind of just did more than Lucario late game. But you're probably going to see Lucario come back now that top lane is different. Kind of changes the way the game's played. You're going to see a lot of... I think you're going to see Serena and Champ come back as well. The Natus really, like, hurt them because they were so good for other Pokemon. So seeing this go back, it kind of sucks that we got like one patch with it, and now they're just back to the way top lane used to be with an extra bundle B at like 920. Unlucky. Regieleki no longer hitting players with all 3 Electro Webs. You know, it's not really a relevant change. If you were standing in the middle of Regieleki anyway, then you know you're probably trolling. Central area. So this is actually a lot bigger than people think. So the ball toys in the central area. So how many times have you guys saw me playing Glaceon, right? And I'll clear my blue buff, I'll go into the mid at 9-10, and I'll take 3 ball toys, and I'm level 6 for top lane. You can't do that anymore. Right? You can't do that anymore. The ball toys being pushed back to 840, it's like the mid crabs, right? The mid crabs on the old map were like 845 or 840 or something. So now that these are pushed back to 840, you'll no longer see like Icy Wind Glaceon popping up in your lane at level 6, because that was just insane. Now, you know, you can only be the level you should be, level 5, going into a top lane gank. This also means that before, like, you have a good amount of time after you take Bs, before you go back to your jungle. So you'll be able to come back down into mid, you'll be able to clear the ball toys. It changes up the pathing a little differently, just makes the top lane gank not as snowbally, which is really good. It's a really good change, and I think it's the one that nobody's talking about that's really slept on. But it's probably the best change in this patch, in my opinion. That and the blue buff, which blue buff is actually, let's be honest. Blue buff was, like, ridiculous. I have to fight Sanji. Razor6, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Blue buff was absolutely insane, right? Absolutely insane. Glaceon and Shambles, not quite. So, here's the thing. We only see, this patch, we only see changes to the map. We don't see changes to champions. So Mew, Mime, Glaceon are untouched, in theory, right? Now, blue buff hurts those mons, obviously. But, so, blue buff going down from 20% to 10% is actually really, really big, but it's not, it's enough to affect most characters. However, on Glaceon, it's not enough to affect Glaceon. With Glaceon, you run your 7 black 6 green page. You run Shell Bell and Energy Amp instead of, like, stacking an Energy Amp now. So you run the 2 cooldown items instead of the 1, and Glaceon's still the same character. Which is really, really good. So the build is going to be different. The damage is going to be a little bit lower, but it's not really going to get Glaceon into the meta. So, unfortunately, even though we see, you know, the only thing that's really changing this patch is top lane. We're probably going to see a lot more 1-on-3. We're probably going to see a lot more early invades because you can be punished a lot harder now. So what this means for solo queue is that if you guys don't get a lead early, it's gonna be harder to come back into the game because there's not nearly as much farm on the map earlier in the game, right? So it's going to be harder, but at the same time, if you get a lead, it's going to be harder for the enemy to come back into the game. So it's solo queue. It's a little bit more punishing, right? It punishes people more for bad play, which is good. That's what we need in this game, right? And same thing in competitive. But you know, obviously, competitive's a whole different ball game compared to solo queue. So this patch, not really a whole lot changes aside from the top lane. This is more of like a competitive patch than anything else. Solo queue is still going to be relatively the same. In competitive, this means a whole lot of different things. We're probably going to see Lucario come back. We're probably going to see Serena come back. We might even see Machamp come back. Honestly, Machamp might be the best top laner this patch. Unironically, Machamp might be the best top laner in this patch. Machamp and Sword might be really, really good. I don't see Charizard being played, because the Nazis are gone. We're still going to have Glaceon, Mime, and Mew. So we're going to have to see, you know, what deals with those. Because Lucario and Serena might not be the answers. So we'll have to see. But my prediction is that Machamp is going to be the best top lane of this patch. And the rest of the game is pretty much unchanged. But yeah. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of the patch. And I'll see you guys next time.